I've heard really great things about the itec App Store. Can you show me how to get into the system and how I can use it in my teaching?
It's really very easy. Basically, the itec project has set up an instance of Moodle, and through that instance of Moodle, you can log in and access the itec App Store. You can add widgets to your own course, which your children can then use. You can even add your own widgets to the App Store and make those available for your children to use. So there are a lot of things that you can do with the App Store.
Alright, but where do I start? How do I get in?
Okay, well we start by browsing to the itec Moodle site. The itec Moodle site is at itec-moodle.eun.org, and you can see as soon as I go there, I've got the Moodle front page, and there's a big login button, and I'm not logged in at the moment because you can see that I'm not logged in, so I'm going to click on that login button. Now, there are many ways that we can get into the itec store. Probably the easiest way, if you're a teacher, is to use one of the social software service links. So I've just clicked on the Yahoo service, and this basically will authenticate me against the details that I have installed in my Yahoo account. So all I have to do is click accept, and that's logged me in. It's that easy. And it doesn't matter if you use Yahoo or you use Google or Facebook. It's very easy to get into the system. If you're already logged in to Google or Facebook or Yahoo, then it's just one click and you're in. If you're not logged in, it'll ask you to supply your username and password for whatever it is, whether it's Facebook or Google or whatever it might be.
Well, that does seem easy. If my children want to get into the system as well, can they do the same thing? Or can I set up multiple user accounts for my children to get into the system?
Well, for your kids, they can use Google or Facebook or Yahoo to log into the system, although we understand that some schools do block those services. So what we're doing in itec is we're creating a facility where teachers can add a whole class bank of accounts and let the children just log in straight away from there. Once you're in the system, you'll be met with the Moodle start page, and there's a whole list of courses down there. If a system's been set up for you, then there will be a course which you'll be able to join. But if you just want to explore the widget store, then there's a particular course which is the way in which you can access the widget store. That course is called the itec Widget Store. And if I scroll down this list, I'm just going to do a quick search for itec Widget Store, and I can see the courses listed about sort of 6th or 7th course down. I'm going to click on there, and when I click on that course, it asks me if I want to enroll on the course. Now, all the courses will do this in Moodle. They'll ask if you want to enroll. So if someone set up a new course for you, then you just click on the name of that course and you can go in and be registered.
Great, so that's how I can get access to the widget store, but how do I actually use it? What can it do for me?
There are many things that the widget store can do. The simplest thing is once you're enrolled in the widget store course, you can have a look at some of the widgets. And this is really easy. All the widgets that are available to you are listed with little icons and names, and you can click on any of those and see what they do. So I can click on a widget name, and it brings up a little window, and I can say View, and as soon as I say View, it brings up another window which shows me what the widget looks like. And some of those widgets I think are quite interesting, so just by clicking through these widgets can give you a good idea of what's available and what you might be able to include in your own class activities.
Oh yeah, I see that. That planet thing looks interesting. What are those others down there? The piano. I thought, oh wow, that's really cool. You can get a piano.
Yeah, well there are all sorts of widgets in here, and many of them have been uploaded by other teachers during training sessions in the itec project. So there are simple games.
Yeah, actually the games are quite nice because I can give that to my kids as a kind of reward once they've done their work.
Yeah, that's right, that's the kind of thing. And there are all sorts of widgets here. There's a facility within the widget store which allows you to upload new widgets. And when I click on that facility, I can get a number of options for adding new material. The first option that I have is to upload a W3C widget file. Now that sounds a bit technical, and the only thing to say about that is that this W3C standard is becoming quite a common standard for widgets right the way across the internet. So a lot of web browsers, for example, are using W3C widgets, and these things are becoming easy to sort of find and upload into the system. The next option I have is to embed Flash files. Now, Flash is a very popular format for widget-type activities. A lot of cool games and that kind of thing are on the internet are in Flash format. And I can find these things quite easily and upload them into the widget store. But I think the easiest way of getting widgets into the store is to find components on the web that you can embed. one of the best places to find these is on a website called Widgetbox. And so what I'm going to do here is browse to the Widgetbox site and find a widget that I want to upload.
Right, so what you're saying is there are a number of ways to get new stuff in there, and if I find something I can embed, then that's the easiest way to do it. And I know something about embedding because I've embedded YouTube videos in my Moodle site before.
Yeah, well, it's that simple. And when I go to the Widgetbox site, I can find all sorts of interesting widgets. I can do a search, and I can find an interesting widget, and each widget has an embed code. I just click on the Get Widget icon, and I'm presented with the embed code, and I can copy that. And when I go back to the widget store and click in the Embed Widget tab, I can paste that code into the box where it asks for it, and I just give the widget a size so that it displays in the right size, and click OK, and there's my widget in the store.
Well, that's amazing. That's really cool. So that means I can go around the web and I can find all the cool things that I think might be interesting to use in my teaching and gather them all together.
Yeah, and it's better than that because you can actually create your own personal collection and have your own toolbox of tools which you can then bring to whatever teaching you're doing. That's what I've done just here because I've got the My Widgets collection, and I can see the widgets that I've uploaded. So that's my personal toolbox that I can take to whatever teaching I want to do.
So this is like a general tool that you can bring to any platform which works with itec.
Yeah, that's right. It's a toolbox that you can take to any platform that is compatible with itec.
Well, that's really good. The next thing I want to know then is how I can actually use these in my teaching.
The main thing to be able to do there is to be able to add these widgets to a course that you might invite the kids into. And that's incredibly easy because the widget store is completely hooked in to the Moodle tool infrastructure. And basically what happens is that the widgets are additional tools to whatever tools that Moodle provides. And better than that, it doesn't have to be Moodle, so it can be any of the other shells that itec uses. You can bring in the same tools. In fact, you can bring in your own personal collection of tools into whatever shell you're using. So here I'm working in a dummy course that's been set up for me, and what I first of all need to do is turn editing on, which is what you always have to do in Moodle to enable you to edit the course. And then I can, from the drop-down box, I can select the tool that I want to use, and the tool I'm going to use is from the widget store. So I scroll right down to the bottom and it says widget store. That gives me a box on the screen once I've selected that, and if I click on the edit icon of that box, then it takes me to the widget store itself where I can actually select a widget. And so I click on there, and I get the list of widgets, and I'm going to do a little search here for the widget that I've just added about climate change. So I'm just going to type in climate into the search box, and there's my widget. And so I click on there, and as soon as I click on there, it takes me back to the course, and I can see my widget displayed in the course.
Wow, that seems really easy. I can add any kind of widget that I want by just going through that method.
Yeah, that's right. And any widget that you've just added to the system is not just available to you, but it's available to anybody else who's accessing the widget store. So it might be that you try some really cool thing with some new widget, and then you just say to people, look, this is the widget I'm using, this is the course, this is really easy. So what I'm going to do now is just add in a chat widget into this course with the climate change widget, because I might want to think of an activity where kids look at what's happening to the climate and have a chat amongst themselves about what's happening. And so I just go through the same process again. I have a look for the chat widget, which I know is called Natter. So I type Natter into the search box, and there's my chat widget. And there we go. And I'm just going to do one more thing. I'm going to add in a game, because I think, once the kids have sort of had a go at that, it might be nice to have a game that's available to them. But I'm going to hide the game, and when the kids get to that stage of the activity, I'll just re-enable the game so that it appears for them, and they can play that for a little while and maybe have a little competition with it. So there's some nice little tools there which give me lots of things that I can do to engage the children in a variety of activities, and I know that I've got the flexibility to add to those activities and to do all sorts of different kinds of things.
Well, thanks a lot. That looks really cool, and I'm going to go and have a good play with it now.